Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining us today. And today I have the pleasure of being joined by Steve Assous.
Hello everyone.
Kilian Paris.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for having me here at the Kilian Boutique in Manhattan. And in today's video, we're going to be giving you the sneak peek of two brand new fragrances from Kilian Paris. We're also going to be letting you know what you can do to reserve your bottle so that you can get it as soon as it comes out. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before we begin this video and I pass the torch over to Steve Assous and have him tell you all about these two brand new fragrances, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. And also, if you can give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, it would really mean a lot to me. So, how are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, hanging in there, can't complain. Work starts up in a few days, so just trying to get mentally ready for that.
Getting ready for the fragrance season?
Yeah, absolutely. The autumn is coming, so it's nice to bring out some of the darker, heavier, richer fragrances, but we know Kilian has so many of those with the smokes and the cellars. And
Absolutely. Well, listen, I'm excited that you're here. This is a really important time for this brand. I want to start off by welcoming you to our Kilian bar at our New York flagship. And you know, at Kilian, we always welcome everyone with a shot on the house. Today, I'm serving up two very special liquors for you.
Awesome.
I've got the legendary Parisian Intoxicant, and I've also got a very sophisticated apple brandy.
Oh my goodness. I'm excited for both of them, but I happen to be a fan of apple brandy. I purchased it some time ago, and so this is apple brandy on the rocks.
Apple brandy on the rocks. It's a new fragrance.
Oh my goodness, I'm excited.
I'm excited. Let me start you off with the shot.
Okay.
Why don't we start with Verte?
Let's do that.
So this is the legendary Parisian Intoxicant.
Fresh spray.
Fresh
You had to
spray.
hit the atomizer a few times. Oh my goodness.
And really the inspiration of this fragrance as you're taking it in.
Oh my God.
Yes.
No way.
So I want you to imagine it's 5 o'clock in France, and really all of the high nobility, all of the artists are getting together to drink this emerald elixir, this absinthe. People like, think Degas, think Picasso, think Van Gogh.
Sure.
They would drink absinthe because they felt that it would illuminate their creative abilities. Now, of course, L'Heure Verte is what they named this hour, the green hour, they called it. And this fragrance uniquely mirrors these Parisian illusions, these uncontrollable pleasures, and the wild nights from the 19th century.
Oh my goodness. It's appropriately boozy. It has a bit of like a licorice tinge, in my opinion, like a licorice star anise kind of a tinge. But it also has a bit of like a sugary component. And so you imagine drinking absinthe, you have the special spoon with like the perforations in it, you put the sugar cube on top and you pour the liquor over it and it just sort of melts and dissolves.
I mean, you hit it right on the head. I mean, this starts off with that absinthe essence, right? And there's a little bit of cypress kind of right in that very top.
Okay.
As you're making your way into the heart of the fragrance, you have licorice root and violet leaf. But then you said sugary.
Yeah.
And that base is patchouli and vanilla. So kind of everything that you talked about is kind of coming out in this fragrance. And I gotta tell you, this is one of those scents that at first smell, I was like, wow, this is different. But when you wear this fragrance, there's nothing like it. I mean, this is completely different for the brand. I haven't smelled anything like it. And I'm super excited about L'Heure Verte, the green hour.
You know, and as you were speaking, I'm trying to compare it to other fragrances from Kilian Paris's library of works, and I just really can't. In terms of the vanilla, the patchouli, the licorice that you mentioned, it's pretty multifaceted, and I feel like that verdant quality that is coming from that absinthe / artemisia is just so gentlemanly, so refined, and I think that increases the versatility of the perfume as well. And so it comes across mysterious and enigmatic, but at the same time, it's also like very professional, very clean cut, very polished. And so it's a very multi-dimensional, multifaceted perfume. I really love this one.
Yeah, and I love that you're saying that because it's not a fresh, right? I wouldn't put this in like a fresh category. I mean, this has a lot of depth. It's bold, right? You can wear this during the day. You can wear this at night going out. I mean, this is a sophisticated scent.
Absolutely.
And the one thing that I'll talk about here is, you know, we always talk about Kilian Paris and really the use of noble ingredients, the use of naturals in the fragrance. And on social media, you know, there's always this thing with like the color of Kilian bottles, and you know, it's a part of it when you're using naturals. This fragrance is going to do the same thing. So if you're watching this, it's got that green color to it, but if left out in the sun, this will actually turn into like an ambery golden color.
Really?
Almost like a leaf, right? So think chlorophyll, because there's so many naturals here, and you have patchouli leaf, you have that absinthe essence, almost like a leaf in the sun, turning kind of that golden color. The same thing happens to this juice. I gotta tell you, I have a bottle of this that I put, you know, with all my fragrances, happens to be by a window.
Sure.
My color, my juice looks a little bit different than this. So it's kind of amazing to see kind of that change. But again, it's all due to the naturals that are found in the formula.
Absolutely. And for the viewers at home, a coloration like that of the liquid of the fragrance is typically indicative of it containing a lot of natural ingredients. And so, you know, oftentimes brands try to strike a balance of natural and synthetic, but it's really the inclusion of these natural ingredients that really bring the fragrance to life and really open up like a new dimension of olfactory exploration, let's call it that. No, it's really quite amazing. I really love this one.
Well, I'm happy you like it. It's one that I'm really excited about, and I'm really excited to see kind of what all the out there think of the scent.
Oh, it's gonna do so well. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I love wearing roses on ice when I'm going to like a formal event. I want something very crisp, very classy. And then of course, Angel Share is like the ultimate night out. I'm going to a nice restaurant, spending time with the wife. And so I like that the profile is being diversified now.
Oh yeah.
And so we're having fragrances that kind of chart different olfactive territories, and perfect.
Dude, I am so happy that you say that, because, you know, I always say like I have the dream job, right? Because I get to work for a brand that I'm truly a fan of. Like I'm truly a fan of Kilian Paris. I love fragrances and I'm an addict. And as a fan, kind of looking from the outside, I get the most excited when Kilian kind of goes into his heritage and he creates something. And he got me with Straight to Heaven, right? When he used that rum. And then really like when you think about this idea, he always talks about he was, you know, born in this, you know, family, this Hennessy family. He has vivid memories of the Hennessy cellars. So right, the cognac barrels that had that sugary cognac kind of scent to them, kind of mixed together. And he says that the spirit of the Hennessy cellars kind of lives in a lot of the fragrances. So for me personally, the cellars was a place that I love to hang out, right? Because I love Intoxicated, I like Black Phantom. I love his twist on the woodsy and the sweet. Last year, when he launched a new olfactive family, the liquors, I was just like, I was so excited, and it's become my go-to because they're different, right? And when you have a wardrobe, you want different scents for really the different emotions that you have, for the different places that you want to go. So I'm like you, I mean, I've been wearing Roses on Ice all summer long, but Angel Share, I mean, it just blew me away, that fragrance. And I think that these new fragrances, they're right there.
I totally agree, especially with the liquors, as you were saying. It's something that is so true, organic, and authentic to the brand. So it totally makes sense. So with that being said, speaking of liquor,
are you ready?
Oh my goodness.
The second shot is coming right up. And
oh my goodness. But the first one is really, really amazing. I know the folks at home are going to be really impressed by this one. Oh, it's so good.
So this is Apple Brandy on the Rocks.
Okay.
And Apple Brandy on the Rocks, I mean, really, Apple Brandy on the Rocks is a tribute to New York City. I mean, the most iconic city in the US. And really bringing to life this historic spirit that's kind of known, this like American spirit. Kilian, when he opened up this boutique 13 years ago, he created the original Apple Brandy fragrance in partnership with Sidonie Lancesser.
Sure.
This year, he's going back to that fragrance, but he's adding his signature On the Rocks accord to it.
Okay.
And he worked with Sidonie for this. So they worked on this together. And if you know anything about, Kilian and, the way he works with perfumers, he's worked with her on a lot of different fragrances. Apple Brandy being one of them. Vodka on the Rocks being another one.
Sure.
So this is something that, me as a fan, again, so excited about.
I own both of those, so let's see what my impression is. I haven't smelled it yet. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No way. Okay. Ooh, initial impressions, it has a little bit of that Apple Brandy vibe that people know and love and they've become so familiar with over the past few years since its release. But there is that element of freshness that I think really opens up the composition, allows it to bloom and blossom. Also, like I said, with the initial fragrance, it kind of adds to the versatility of it.
Yeah.
And so, whereas Apple Brandy is like very dark, very suave, a little sweet, a little spicy, a little boozy, this one is a Swiss Army knife.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like this one can be worn dressed up, dressed down. Although there's something about the Kilian aesthetic where I do want to wear it dressed up, but I think that this one is very versatile. I love this one. I
mean, so let me kind of take you through what you're smelling here. So the fragrance opens up with this burst of freshness, and that's the On the Rocks Accord.
Okay.
You've got bergamot essence, you've got cardamom, but you've got a little pineapple in there. And that's really what that On the Rocks Accord is. And this is actually a little quiz for our Kilian addicts. This is the third fragrance that we have in our collection that uses this On the Rocks Accord. You already mentioned Vodka on the Rocks, but you've mentioned another one too, Roses on Ice, also had that On the Rocks Accord incorporated to it.
Okay.
This is gonna be the third. So it starts off with this freshness. Now the heart, really what's kind of being revealed after that top note is gonna be the Apple Brandy Accord. And to make that Apple Brandy, we're using rum, we're using moss, and we're using vanilla to really get that bite of the juicy apple to come out. And the base, you've got sandalwood, you've got ambroxan, so it's really gonna be kind of a woodsiness undertone.
Yeah, it seems to go through a few different layers.
Yep.
And so right now I'm still getting the freshness loud and clear. So I'd be lying if I said, oh yeah, I get so much moss and vanilla.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm gonna get it if I spray it on skin, let it sit there for a couple hours. But that pineapple, that bergamot is still very bright and vivid. I would say a little bit more bergamot than pineapple, but it still strikes that really nice freshness in the opening that I think for a lot of people is going to be this Swiss Army knife type of a fragrance. Really, I'm loving this one.
And I think the question that we get the most is this the original Apple Brandy, right? And it's not, right?
No, it's not.
It's not. This is Apple Brandy on the Rocks. I mean, this is completely different. But the spirit of Apple Brandy kind of lives within this formula. So yeah, it's different.
No, I think that if there is somebody out there who loves Apple Brandy, perhaps they own a bottle, they're looking for something that's a bit more versatile, if I dare say that, something that can be worn in the daytime, maybe when you're indoors in a climate-controlled environment, and something that is just going to generally garner a lot of compliments, going to have mass appeal, without compromising that really unique niche quality that the brand is known for. I think this one is absolutely amazing.
So
good.
Which one will you put on today? What shot are we going with?
You know what? That's a really, really good question. So with that, I think I'm going to have to think about what I'm doing later on in the evening. I'm going to be meeting up with a couple of my friends. We're going to be outdoors. We're going to hit up the park because we both have kids. So I'm looking for something that's going to be a little bit more bright, a little bit more vibrant. So if you don't mind, I'm going to put on a few sprays of Apple Brandy. More than a few, because I love this one, and I should clarify, Apple Brandy on the Rocks.
Oh yeah. So this is, I mean, certainly exciting launch.
Oh, goodness.
Why don't I talk a little bit about, if you're watching this, where can you get this? So this is actually going to become a permanent part of our collection. So you'll be able to find this at most major retailers where you're already shopping Kilian Paris, whether you're at Bergdorf Goodman, Saks Fifth Avenue, Bloomingdale's, even Sephora is going to be carrying this in North America. Of course, when you think about Apple Brandy and why it was created for the flagship in New York. where we're at today.
Absolutely.
Right? So we're celebrating Apple Brandy on the Rocks today. If you shop at our freestanding store, let me tell you, they have been taking pre-orders for the last 2 weeks. And you can definitely reach out to our freestanding store. I'll have, one of our managers, Michael, we have Lauren on the team. They can certainly help you out with that. And then of course online, right? So you can always shop Kilian online, regardless of where you are in the world. If you're watching this in the UK, Harrods, right, is going to be the place you can get this. This is going to be launching September. So our date is kind of the first week September, but look out for it at your store. They may get it a little bit earlier.
Oh, that's awesome. But as Steve said, the folks here at the Kilian Boutique are taking pre-orders. So I'm going to leave the phone number, the address, and all of that pertinent information down below. So of course, if you are interested in getting your bottle before everyone else, or just ensuring that the moment it becomes available, you have your hands on it, I'm gonna leave all of the information down below. I know that there are a lot of people out there that are ardent fans of the brand, and so they wanna make sure to add it to their collection as soon as possible. And let me also say that both of these are absolutely amazing for the seasons that we're about to enter. And so you kind of have that boozy appeal from both of them. You have that vanillic warmth for both of them. Yep. This one is a little bit more spicy. This one carries that freshness if you want to wear something that comes across undoubtedly professional and elegant. You're going to absolutely love both of these for the autumn and the winter time. And I know I myself personally am going to be wearing a lot of both of these. So
awesome. Well, listen, this has been certainly fun.
Steve,
before you go, I have to talk to you about just one more new launch that we've had that's a little bit different.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever reviewed a product like this, and I watch a lot of your videos.
What is it?
Let me be right back.
Okay. Let's see, I'm excited. I don't know what this is.
This may be a first.
Okay.
So, one of the obsessions that Kilian has is really making fragrance visible. And a lot of people know Kilian Paris to be a place where you just go to the bar, you have fun, you get greeted with a shot.
Sure.
But there's another facet of Kilian Paris, and we just had a major launch just this month, and it's scented. So I'm excited to show it to you.
Okay.
These are the new Kilian Paris liquid ultra matte lip stains. So this is this was a
My
liquid
wife would
lip.
love that. Yeah.
She would, and let me just go ahead. I mean, obviously they look totally Kilian Paris. I mean, you have the Achilles shield on it, but they are scented. And I would love for you to experience that, because this is a way to make fragrance visible.
Oh my God.
Do you know what the scent is? Can you guess?
Oh, give me a second. Oh, it's warm, it's a little sweet, a little resinous.
A little marshmallowy.
Is it love?
It's love.
Oh my goodness. That's so good.
Isn't it amazing? It's like wearing fragrance. So really when you think about Kilian and you think about the lipsticks, they're all scented with Love Don't Be Shy. This is a brand new product, and let me tell you, I've had a lot of my artist friends play with this. This is an incredible formula. So I figured, we've never talked about a beauty product together, at least not you and I.
No, we haven't. And the funny thing is that this is richly scented.
Yeah.
Like I can hold it 6 inches away from my nose and I can smell it from here. It doesn't have to be right up here, but that's interesting.
Well, the thing that with scented lip, they're 10 times more scented than the average lip. And here they're scented with a Kilian fragrance, right? With Love Don't Be Shy. So definitely you smell the scent.
So a person wearing this, all you have to do is just kiss somebody on the cheek, and then they'll be able to smell it because it's like an inch away. That's beautiful.
Isn't that awesome?
Really cool.
Well, I have a little surprise for you. So you are going to be the very first person that I know, at least of, in North America to walk away with the 2 liquors, because that is my gift to you today.
Thank you,
just for coming out.
really
of course,
that.
Absolutely.
That really means so much to me. Wow.
Yeah. So that way you can have a couple more in your wardrobe to play with.
That really means a lot. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And of course, thank you to everybody at home for watching this video. I really hope you took something of value. I really mean it when I say that both of these fragrances are really exquisite. Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna be wearing both of them depending on the situation and the occasion. And so once again, all of the information is gonna be down below in the vein of where you can secure your pre-order of these. If you wanna try them in person, I'm gonna leave links to all of the pertinent retail stores down below. And Steve, once again, thank you so much for
my
having
pleasure,
me
man.
on
Awesome.
camera. It really means a lot.
Thank you for coming to the flagship.
Really, the pleasure is all mine. So thank you once again. Remember, if you took something of value from this video, please do consider showing your support by subscribing to this channel. And once again, if you can give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, it would really mean a lot. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.